nitrate power. You're in the dog zone for an hour. Come on. You know the number. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. Yeah, 9,000.
Welcome to the Dog Zone 9000, the official podcast of 1-900 Hot Dog, America's final comedy website. I'm Robert Brockway, and I'm part of a COVID hustle to grift Amazon out of $10 million. And with me is my criminally associated partner, Sean Baby.
Hi, I'm an ape lady. I'm the mistress of the apes.
But apropos of nothing, why would you even bring that up? That's crazy. It's crazy that you would do that and then bring that up and put it in everyone's head again. Anyway, here's our guest. It says here he's best-selling author and notorious movie narc. Uh-oh. It's Jason Pargin.
So what I'm about to say is going to sound like very harsh criticism of this podcast. But you know I don't mean it that way.
I won't accept it.
Because there are listeners right out there right now saying, oh, I've been seeing clips of this War of the Worlds movie that I know they're going to talk about because it's in the title of the thing I clicked on. I've been seeing clips of this movie all over TikTok, all over Reels, all over YouTube Shorts, all over Twitter. Like, it's so cool that these guys finally decided to jump on like a trending thing. Guys, they don't know. This is the first they're hearing that this is a viral movie.
I did notice some of it was popping up on my feed the other day, but when I say my feed, I check social media very rarely.
We watched this 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago with the Discord for a movie night. So we were like real early adopters of this garbage.
Yeah, I don't want to be a War of the Worlds hipster, but
yeah, I do.
Instantly recognize this as something like once in a lifetime. Like, this is a very special failure.
We liked this before it was one of the worst movies ever made.
It is right now the number 3 most popular title on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I believe it.
Because of all the people going. If we took clips from this episode, and like you guys upload to TikTok sometimes, but if we were really relentless and strategic, if I, on my platforms, if I grabbed those clips and really pushed it, I could make this episode of the Dog Zone, I think, the most popular one in its history, because it is about a viral trending topic and not about like a direct to VHS Rudy Ray Moore comedy from 1982 or whatever. But here's the thing. If I successfully did that, if we like really hustled all of us, the team together, and pushed and got this episode and made it a viral hit, I think if I went into the Slack and said, hey guys, I think this episode is our all-time biggest hit, I think that news would be forgotten within 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, I would think you were kidding.
It would.
If you even laid that plan out in the Slack, I'd say, oh, this is Jason doing that bit where he pretends we're like back at Cracked trying to chase some viral story.
I think it's a non-issue because we have 2-3 podcasts in the can. We're recording weeks in advance. So by the time this comes out, it will be passé. And they'll be like, are you fucking still talking about that?
That's true.
Well, like, it takes care of itself. Don't worry. I mean, we could rush, I guess. We could stop the presses and print this fucking podcast. But
guys, everybody has moved on to the fact that Skibbity Toilet has joined OnlyFans. That's what everybody's talking about today. Why didn't you do a podcast about that?
I understand 2 of those words. That's funny. Those are funny words. I like the sound of them. Yeah, we're going to talk about War of the Worlds. Before we do that, where can people find more from you, Jason?
I am now on YouTube at Jason K. Pargin, the same username that I use on TikTok and all of the other platforms. Yes, I have successfully signed up for YouTube monetization and am doing long-form YouTube videos now. I'm now monetized on all of the platforms except for the ones that are just overtly owned by Nazis. Wait a second, that would mean I'm not monetized on any of them. Okay, I've not checked very closely on any of them except for Twitter, which I'm not monetized on.
All right, Sean.
We're monetized on Patreon, 1900hotdog.com. Go to patreon.com/1900hotdog. 1900hotdog. Dial it for laughs.
And I, of course, am legally obligated to promote my upcoming book. because I was doing a fun bit, just a fun bit where I refused to promote it despite being in my contract that I have to. And now I'm doing a fun bit where I go to federal prison if I don't sell enough copies. So please buy it. It's called I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200. It's available for pre-order right now. Go look. It's up there. I actually got the news. The release date was pushed back from January 20th to the 27th. And I assume that's because I've been promoting it so good that I bought myself a week of freedom. So that's it. We figured out what the metric is. We just have to sell as many books as that every single week, and I won't go to prison. So let's get on that. Buy that book. Buy that book so I don't go to federal prison, everybody.
Also, probably trying to get the release date clear from the Super Bowl, which I think is the weekend of the 20th. So they probably didn't want those two things happening.
There is a lot of football in this book, if that's something you like. If it's not, then it's not in this book at all. Just whatever you want it to be, it's in there. You gotta check it out. Buy my book. I don't want it to be a threat, but it is. All right, so today we're talking about War of the Worlds, the 2025 Ice Cube edition. Let's just take a real quick check here. Mm-hmm. Jason, how many words of notes are you looking at right now?
A lot, because the big thing right off the top is I had not read any H.G. Wells novels and did not realize what an overrated author he was until I watched this film.
He's a real piece of shit.
Really? This? So I mainly wanted to tear him apart, but I guess back then there weren't that many, authors around. There wasn't much competition.
It's incredible how he managed to predict Ice Cube. It's astonishing to me. Sean, how many words of notes are you looking at here?
I would say probably maybe a quarter what I usually write now. And let me explain. I understand that watching this movie, you kind of want to write down everything that happened. But what I did was just not rewatch the movie because you said, hey, let's do a War of the Worlds podcast. I said, I just watched that and there's no fucking way I'm going to watch it again. Also, I think most of it stuck with me. So I think I can follow along with the discussion. But yeah, pretty low level of notes. Is that the answer you expected, or do you think I had a ton of notes?
I didn't know the way it was going to go. I'm looking at 7,000 words of notes.
Oh, wow.
And
I have 3,000.
Okay. And in my experience, 7,000 words of notes, even if it's just me talking, is about 4 hours of podcast. So I figured there's a few ways. Either you all also have 4 hours worth of notes, or you don't have any notes and you're just like, I don't know. I watched that. That sucks. It sucks that I did that. I wish I could undo it.
I think I'm a pretty good podcaster in that I take a lot of detailed notes and try to prepare a lot. But that's not what I did today. I knew you would have way too many notes and figured I would.
Well, part of it's the movie's fault in that the movie is just an avalanche of shockingly terrible decisions designed to overwhelm your senses and shut you down. It's just it's a long, slow tragedy, but it's also a really sharp, fast tragedy. It was like...
It's really dense, I think is a good word to describe it. Like, it's stupid, but then there's a second stupid thing happening in the side. And like, there's so many tumbling mistakes that the screenwriter decided to try to solve and then created further mistakes. And that happens visually and in the story. And then also there's a lot of like untalented polish. Like someone clearly went in and said, let's try to make this look cool, but then they sucked shit at it. And so you could just sort of feel the effort in every frame. But the thing they started with was just like an actor filming themselves in a hotel room. I don't know. It's just a really special catastrophe.
Here's my proposal. Fuck this guy. Fuck me. Let's scrap a lot of my notes. I'm just gonna go over what actually happens in the movie, and everybody, if I miss something that you really want to talk about, really take a poll of yourself and determine, like, is that worth going back and revisiting? Like, try to do one thing per like 15 minutes a movie. How about that?
Okay.
All right, I'm not going to police you. I'm not going to shut the... You know what? Maybe I will. I'll play Ape Lady every single time you talk about more than one thing per 15 minutes. I'm not going to remember to do that, but it would be just an unlistenable hellscape.
Hey, I know we've got a lot of new listeners here because we're talking about a trending subject. The song that Brockway is talking about, that is not a song that they made to be like a theme for this podcast at all. It is a song from a movie that they had nothing to do with.
It is still on my soundboard for no real reason that I feel comfortable discussing. I'm not going to play it because I feel like everybody at home right now already has it stuck in their head if they listen to this podcast, and if they don't deserve that until farther into this podcast, I'm sure. So, with restraint in mind, let's talk about War of the Worlds. Ice Cube plays William Radford, Department of Homeland Security analyst, back before we realized that was the enemy, and that should not be the protagonist. This is maybe the worst time in history for you to release this movie with that as your protagonist. Incredible timing, first of all, right off the jump. What a great choice. It's what's called a screen life movie, which is like a genre they have developed, specifically one guy has developed, that's mostly filmed from the point of view of your screen life, of your webcam, your phone, stuff that you're watching, captures of your desktop setup, all as he goes about his hectic job, which is, again, the enemy, Department of Homeland Security. And it's also his personal life to violate people's privacy. So you can't even be like, he's doing that professionally, but maybe like in his personal life. No, in his personal life, he's also violating the shit out of his children's privacy, whose names are Dave and Faith. And he does that by hacking into every device they pass by to micromanage every aspect of their lives, including their video game consoles and his daughter's smart fridge at one point.
Yeah.
Which is a degree of insanity beyond a quirk, I would say. Like that's an enemy. That's an enemy move.
Okay, let me cash in one of my interjections here because we are, I think,
this is real early.
We are 34 seconds into the film. Mm-hmm. This format and this producer, there's a 2018 film called Searching that uses this exact same format, and it's very good. Mm-hmm. It's very clever.
Same guy.
Same producer. And it's that same, it's software where it's basically, okay, if you were stuck at your desk trying to solve a crime or whatever, all of the tools that are available to you, all the cameras and videos you can bring up, it makes a real challenge in how to tell the whole story where you're stuck from that point of view. And it was done really well. So the pitch that I think this was a COVID era production of, hey, we can't get the actors together on set, but we could have, like, there's one guy who's clearly just on the golf course all the time. And Ice Cube at whatever office they did this at, I don't know if they had a production office, somebody else at a hotel room. Like, if they could all just do it, and then we'll do that searching format, and we'll do War of the Worlds. And you can do, because you can have videos that are like low res, things like that, web cameras and, phone cameras, then the effects maybe don't have to be perfect. I think that pitch is actually really good. I can see why they approve that because, you would feel helpless if you were in lockdown and you're having to watch the whole thing play out. It's just that the first thing that happened was the screenwriter was like, okay, but why would the protagonist, who they surely could not have known at that point was going to be played by Ice Cube, why would they have a literal God's eye view of the universe? And the premise is, oh, that's right, he can hack into any object on the planet in real time, be it a satellite, a military drone, a refrigerator, a cash register at a cafe. He has a God's eye view of everything happening on Earth, and that's his job.
And I think his choice to hack his children's life might have started as a sort of a cute gag, but it is psychopathic by the time it made it here onto the page and then onto the screen. Because he calls his daughter when she orders a muffin, and he's not trying to casually slip that in the conversation. He's just full on telling on himself instantly, a muffin? To let her know, no, I'm fucking watching you from the security cameras. I know you bought a muffin. Also, that's not a thing anyone would even know was a problem, right? If someone screamed a muffin after you bought a muffin, I'd be like, oh, gross. Are you watching me? Fuck off. And then he like is watching his kid's screen while he's at home, which again, that's a high risk situation, watching a teenage boy's computer screen. And then he like uninstalls the game he's playing. And I just think like, what are they trying to tell us about this character other than like, he can't be trusted and he's a complete lunatic?
Yeah, you see where like their intent was, where like, oh, we learned pretty soon here that his wife died a few years back, and he's become addicted to work and massively overprotective. But that's not what it's scanning as. Like you misunderstood what that would present as so badly, and then you gave that trait of like always watching you to a guy working for the Department of Homeland Security.
Right.
And you're like, oh, I hate this person.
I'm going to cash an interjection because while he's doing the spying, in the background, like his main mission priority is to like watch this hacker, and this hacker is going to release something that's like hugely problematic for national security. And that's what's going on while he's like watching his daughter order a muffin and uninstalling Steam games from his kid's computer. He's really bad at his job in addition to being just an unhinged psychopath.
I don't think we're out of the credits yet, and we burned both interjections for the first 15 minutes.
Hit me with the ape song if I don't shut up.
The rest of this is just going to be me talking. I don't know about this framework that I've introduced.
Wait, before you start, this still counts as mine. He opens up Facebook and he does his yearly message to his dead wife. Okay, I'm done making...
So this is all, and it's all done. I worry people are picturing like 24 or something, where it's like, I don't really know what this is, but it looks like somebody with enough confidence can fake it. No. This is all very childlike, which is why it's so shocking that the guy who produced this not only invented this genre, but had so much experience making at least one movie that was very good in this venue, because it's handled so poorly. Like, it looks like somebody has only heard about a computer and never actually seen one work. Because like we're saying he's like monitoring all of these things. What that looks like is that a box will pop up over a person walking, and it will be like threat level medium. And it's just like a lady walking across the street.
Yeah.
And then like 3 or 4 submenus will pop up, like walking, or like has a dog bought an ice cream cone, and then it'll turn green, like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like that's the level of like authenticity that you're dealing with. He looks at a map of DC and it has cartoon icons of attack helicopters over it, where the attack helicopters are, like it's a fast food cashier register.
There's the skeleton of a better movie hidden here in the beginning. I remember they show a kid like bashing another kid in the face with a pillow, like just a funny little meme of kids eating shit. And this was like this sort of story of this movie from another universe, where as the aliens eat the data, spoiler alert, the aliens came here to eat data. If it was like all of our data was dying like the T-1000 in like a smelting pit, like, is it like just cat memes and baby memes were just popping up on the screen like one last time as they were erased? Like, that is a funny movie. If during all of the drama, there's just a million little stimuli, like that's the better movie. And they hint at it here.
I don't think you would have to change Ice Cube's performance at all to have this movie, because that's what it looks like he's watching all the time. It looks like he is so overstimulated and overwhelmed.
I do have a theory that they just filmed him do random reactions for 3 hours and then wrote the script later.
I want to disagree with you, only because I don't think it was 3 hours. I think I don't think they got an hour of
Fair
recording
enough,
time from
There
Ice Cube.
is no chance Ice Cube remembers shooting this movie.
No.
It was clearly one afternoon where he sat down. And I think he probably, as a paycheck, got the bulk of the budget, I'm going to say, because they wanted. And he sat down it does look like one afternoon, and just filmed a bunch of reactions and saying things like, I'm not going to do an Ice Cube impression because I know that's problematic, but saying like, how you like me now? And, oh, hell no.
Sounds just
I accidentally did it perfectly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then, but they did this like in 2020. Like, again, this was during lockdown that they filmed this. So probably had one day, got his paycheck, and then over the next 5 years, just assumed like lots of stuff in Hollywood, it just never got made, or that footage got dumped to something else. Yeah, probably totally forgot about it. And then suddenly there's billboards and stuff everywhere.
Number one movie.
I'm going to assume he did not know this was the movie. Like, they got on Zoom, and I'm sure he thought, like, we're doing like a little run through of the screenplay, or like maybe this is like kind of an audition where we're going to talk about like how it would be. And he didn't realize that they were hitting record screen, and so this movie comes out, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
He thought he was doing Ava Longoria's podcast, and now he's like, "What the fuck?"
I think this is Arnold Schwarzenegger's story with Red Sonja, that he showed up and just shot some stuff, and he thought he was like a side character, and they used every single foot of stuff they shot. They just put it all in the movie.
You're like one of the main characters. He didn't. There's no way he thought. At the very least, he thought, like, I'm the little side character hacker. Like, they're just going to cut to me once in a while and being like, oh, shit. And surely they're going to get Tom Cruise or something. He was in one of these before.
Think how much better this movie would be if Ice Cube was watching Red Sonja and just 50-60% of the movie was just him watching Red Sonja.
Again, it would work with the performance that he filmed.
Yep.
Like, you can sync his performance up.
Oh,
shit.
My God.
Move, bitch, get out the way. That works for so many parts of Red Sonja. So let me just blow through the rest of the setup real quick here, since we've all burned our interjections and I don't want to get aped. So these are the core tenets of his character in the movie. He spies on his kids. He's way overprotective. His teenage son, Dave, I think he knows about his dad's job and about government privacy, and he's very much against that. So he does not approve of like his dad's whole lifestyle. His daughter, Faith, is some sort of like super biologist that we learned there, and she's got an Amazon delivery driver boyfriend, as so many super biologists do. And then Ice Cube is stalking his dead wife's Facebook page, which becomes very important to him throughout the movie. He meets a couple of other characters. He talks to somebody named Sandra NASA, which I think they meant to replace that.
I like that he doesn't know her name. He's like, hot girl work.
Specifically, he's going around and is worried about this hacker that's about to go live, and he gets a text message, or what are they using? Is it Microsoft Teams? What's the software that they keep? And then he'll get like a Teams message from her where she sends him a clip of the aliens are destroying our weather. And like, hey, have you heard anything about this? It's like, nah, I'm busy. Like, okay, that's Homeland Security's not concerned about something has destroyed the weather everywhere.
That's because he jumps onto a live stream of their raid on Disruptor, the hacker. So he is, amongst all of these other things, he's jumping into the live stream to watch it like a Twitch stream as they raid Disruptor. And that's when the team on the ground that he's watching is interrupted by an explosion and these meteors falling from the sky. And that's the first time he realizes something else is going on, because, again, he hung up on Sandra NASA, who was like, there's fucking meteors. Like, no, man. All of this, it seems hectic. That's because I'm not sure if this is true of all Screen Life movies. I don't really remember searching very well, but this one is supposed to take place in real time. So 1 minute in the movie is 1 minute in the story.
It is. That falls apart immediately because, I mean, like the meteors hit and there are news reports about it everywhere. One reporter's like outside, like, hey, there's a bunch of meteors that just started 1 second ago, and she gets like headshotted by the meteor. And
in fact, this story is going to take place over the course of about a year.
Right.
But it's shot in real time. So, for example, they will mention mass unemployment at one point due to the alien invasion. They will mention that all of the world economies have crashed. They will mention that all of the world's militaries have gotten together and staged an attack and have now retreated and have suffered massive casualties and are now trying. It's like, but this is happening in 30 seconds. Like the attack happened, yeah. Because
they cut back and forth from Ice Cube's actual story, because this is from his point of view. So they will show him like looking something up, and then he's waiting for like the search result. He'll tab over and they'll be like, mass unemployment as aliens invade, and then he'll tab back to his search and finish like, oh, the result of my search is ready. That means that all happened within like 3.5 seconds. which is one of the main mistakes this movie makes. But we are now into the second 15
They should
minutes.
do a
Nobody
movie
got
where
aped.
a guy just watches Red Sonja, and then after he finishes Red Sonja, he finds out the world died while he was watching Red Sonja. And we see it from
Again?
his point of view, so we're just watching Red Sonja with like a weird epilogue.
You don't have to change a thing. If anybody's handier than us and you want to just go through and pull out all of Ice Cube's performances and remove the green screen behind him that I assume is set up in his kitchen, just put a green screen behind him. We can put him watching all of Red Sonja and live reacting, and that I think that will be a major success, of course. So the second 15 minutes, Ice Cube, he needs to commandeer a drone to get a better view of this explosion during the raid, which he does by clicking commandeer drone. Like, again, a child. This is how a child understands computers. This is hunting and pecking for the burger shape on the McDonald's cash register.
I liked it just because the screenwriter knew the problem and solved the problem, explained it to us, and with no errors. Like, it's stupid, but it's not outside the realm of possibility.
He's a super hacker that uses Windows for everything. So it's all clicking on icons and clicking, and nothing is command line. So, for example, when the master hacker disruptor, the hacker who has hacked all of the world's systems, is about to go live, he takes the hacker's YouTube video, clicks on view source, and then it's got his IP address, highlights it, boom, that's his home address, send the FBI.
Oh, goddamn. Like, imagine the audacity to pitch a movie where one of your characters is a super hacker and you're like, I'm not going to look up any of this fucking computer shit. And, like, I know we used to have that audacity in 1995 with hackers, but never again. We're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed. The hackers burned that goodwill.
It's almost worse than, like, the Law and Order thing where, like, two people are typing on the same keyboard. Like, I feel like it's more distracting in its failure to kind of be right, but, like, super dumb.
So he's checking all of his feeds, all the news networks. Fox News is his favorite. That's the only thing that really scans here. And we see it. This is all worldwide, including his building. And so in this emergency, he starts checking in on his kids. He finds his daughter, Faith, taking cover under a table in her lab. So he calls the worthless boyfriend, the Amazon driver boyfriend, to go get her, which they're not saying, like, cell phone service is out. So, like, I don't know why he had to do that and she can't. But don't think of that, because you'll think of that for the rest of this movie. Because most of this movie is Ice Cube making calls for other people that they could and should have made themselves.
Right. The internet goes down like 20 different times in this movie, and all the cell towers go down 50 different times while everyone is still watching the internet and making phone calls.
They will repeatedly get on the internet to talk about the fact that there is no internet anywhere. Yep. Because, again, the format of the film, it's problematic for the systems to be down. But also, here's a point where if you're watching it and people are talking about how low budget this film is, when you're going to say, well, that's not true. When the aliens attack and he goes and views and all the meteors are hitting everywhere, they show lots of destruction where these cities, and it looks good. There's actual buildings destroyed and on fire.
Very realistic.
It looks very convincing. Because they used news footage of actual disasters where actual people died.
It's real
and
fucked
then
up.
they just put in bad CGI alien tripods and or meteors on top of it. But
And then cut to Ice Cube going, oh, damn! To somebody, to like your sister dying. Like Ice Cube is reacting to your actual real life sister being exploded.
Statistically, somebody watching this movie saw their own apartment building that was destroyed in those fires in Hawaii or whatever the many disasters they took news footage from. It's like, oh, that's where my grandmother died. This is Ice Cube reacting to that, saying, damn these aliens.
Slapping his little button. Because he has a button. He has a button that screams, that was easy, every time he...
One of those easy buttons from...
Yeah.
Is it Staples that had those?
See, I thought it surely must have been Amazon, because that'd be a wild move for it to be Staples, but you might be right.
Guy, okay, that button, that's something that the actual man, Ice Cube, not the character, the human being Ice Cube had in his office, and he just
100%.
had it nearby and improvised.
That's how we got the part.
Yeah,
His
there was an ad lib.
audition. They were like, that button really adds something.
Keep that.
So he tells the boyfriend to go get his daughter. His son Dave is running along the street. He's guiding him along the street. Meanwhile, his boss, director Briggs, who again is the head of the Department of Homeland Security, in the middle of a national emergency, and he sends out a mass text telling everybody in his department, everybody get on Zoom. Now, remember, this was filmed in 2020 when that was fucking ridiculous instead of, I don't know, the 10th most important news story this morning. This is sadly a prophetic movie. But yeah, everybody hops on Zoom at the highest level of government, because that's what they would use. He FaceTimes the FBI
I want to use an
director.
interjection.
Okay.
There's a funny thing where they're talking about how the meteors are slowing down and speeding up. Like, someone directly says to camera, like, I think it was Andrea Savage, she's like, okay, we have no idea where these fucking things are going to land. They're just changing directions and changing speed. Anyway, there's one coming right for you. And then he calls his son, and again, these things are flying all over. No one can predict them. And he's steering him on foot, like, take a left. The meteor's about to hit you. Take a hard left on foot. Adorable. Assuming his kid was Usain Bolt, like, it makes no difference. Okay, I'm done with my interjection. I just wanted everyone to know that in one breath, the story will establish the rules and then completely forget them.
So he's got this mass meeting of all the department heads that he's got to deal with. And it's his job to compile a report on the alien activities. And here's how he does it. He jumps around to camera feeds and pictures of them, and he clicks metadata.
Yep.
And then in the metadata of the pictures of them, it includes the alien's height, weight, and attack capabilities.
You don't encode that in all the images on the site? I do that every time.
The metadata knows about the aliens. My God, that's fucking incredible.
If I had noticed that would have been my interjection. Definitely. That's amazing.
Was that my? Oh, okay. All right.
No, you just don't count. You're running things. I'm just saying, if I had known that, right, I would have forced you to play the ape song, because I would have definitely interrupted to point that out.
I will take an interjection here. Something I haven't mentioned to this point. The most distracting thing to me while watching this for the first time was, I guess, the design sensibility in general, because if you haven't seen this movie and you're picturing it, it's all done through, he's watching news feeds, right? So it's got the whole full news feed UI thing going. He's using different kinds of apps. He's using, and like a lot of apps that exist. He's using Teams, he's using Zoom, he's using like Google Maps and stuff like that. They did not even like just grab the UI of those things. They tasked somebody who's not qualified at all for this job to redesign those UIs, and they used, I want to say, the same font for everything. If not the same font, then the same very basic package of fonts, so that like Fox News running a ticker looks exactly the same as CNN, as Google Maps, as everything else. And of course it's full of spelling errors. That's hardly worth mentioning. But it's just the idea. It's the idea that, I don't know, that Fox would have the same font as CNN is just like insulting to me. Like they would find a racist font. I'm sure of it.
There was a new ice ad that just came out with the fucking full-on like German Nazi font.
Yeah, see, they would find the Nazi font.
That's real.
It really takes you out. And like, I just, as somebody, like, I have to sometimes make the little fake ads in our articles at the end of our articles on the site. 1-900-HOT-DOG, come support us. And one of the first tricks I learned was that if you need to fake something, just find the right font. Like, you don't have to be that good. Just find the right font. You can put the right font on something if you're not very good at this, and it will look pretty okay. And usually it's free. If it's not free and you really, really want one, it's like $20.
And it's intensely documented. If you just Google, what is the font from blah? Font nerds are the weirdest, most industrious people.
You can find it. Like, you can install it. It takes seconds. Nobody in this movie did any of that.
Nope.
So it really just, it looks like it's being faked. It looks like it's being faked to Ice Cube within the fiction of the movie. Like this is his son punking him. Like, which I guess would scan for the War of the Worlds. I mean, It's all right there.
That's another explanation for this movie, that it's none of it's really happening, and it's all just someone's playing a prank on Ice Cube. They're doing the game to Ice Cube.
That's what it looks like. It looks like his son is just like in there frantically typing up headlines for Fox News as they run and just like doing his goddamnedest.
Okay, I realize we're running behind, but I just very briefly want to talk about the history of this franchise going back to 1898.
You got an interjection.
Knowing that, like the whole infamous Orson Welles radio show that maybe a few people thought was real, I kind of thought at some point that's going to be our twist, that it's going to turn out, oh, the hackers faked an alien invasion to do something else. It's cover for a terrorist attack or something, because that would explain why the aliens kind of look bad or whatever. And the joke's going to be that this guy who thought he had a God's eye view of the world, that because he was interacting with everything through a screen, it's like, hey, when you put the screen between yourself and reality, this gives an opportunity for somebody else to come in and kind of pull the wool over your eyes. So I actually thought they may be doing something kind of clever here.
Yeah. It's so bad you think this can't be the real thing. This can't be the real movie. It's just a trick. And they're making it bad enough so I can have the clues.
Again, we can remix that movie out of this performance. Like this, that's the beauty of Ice Cube's performance here, is that it can be anything you want it to be.
The other thing is, if anybody else out there is making a true War of the Worlds film, like a big budget version, those tripod things in the 1898 novel, that represented an insurmountable threat to military technology of that era. If you're just dealing with the kind of artillery, that kind of stuff you had pre-World War I, then a big metal tripod with a heat ray, that it's like we have no hope against that. You need to update that design, because as it stands right now, they're just very fragile tanks. Like later, they're going to show just a single Hellfire missile just wrecking one of them with no problem. So even if we had no military, I'm pretty sure we could defeat these things just by using Ewok tactics to tie up their legs. Like even if our military just stayed home, I think just civilians could crash into them with dump trucks and such. But yeah, it very quickly you're going to start to feel sorry for them, because once the military gets going in this film, it's like, oh yeah, we're just mowing them down.
That's basically the part we're at. Let's get into that. So before that happens, Ice Cube needs to get his daughter Faith to safety, so he hacks a Tesla to auto drive her to the hospital. And we watch through the Tesla's like point of view from all of its cameras as it just mows down toddler after toddler, getting her to that hospital. He tries to like emotionally connect with her through the medium of Tesla, but she's like, are you fucking doing that right now? And he's like, yeah, that was a bad idea. So he hangs up on her, and that's like one of the only truly funny moments in the film.
Was right
that, like,
after she says, like, she brought up the dead mom, just like the son did earlier. It's like all of his kids, is when he starts getting overbearing, they're like, mom is dead, and then he hangs up on them.
And he hangs up on them, and it's funny every time. So he hacks the daughter's the Amazon driver, the daughter's boyfriend's truck, to send him her way. Which again, another one of those things that could have just been a phone call that they probably should have made themselves, because they all still have their phones. And
I want to do an
interjection.
Interjection. There's a scene here where she gets some rebar in her leg. That's why she's in the Tesla, because she can't walk. And they do like a Mountain Monsters thing, because I don't think she was outside, this actress. So she kind of hobbles there like a paper doll. Did you notice how weird this was? Like, this was not a human walking to a car. This was like an insane sprite getting smeared across a background. Unimportant. The thing I want to talk about is he needs to get to his daughter because she's bleeding out. She has a rebar in her artery. And he runs over to his office door, and it's locked. And he's like, my office door's locked. And I laughed so hard because, again, the screenwriter says, well, we can't have him leave his office. We need to keep him here. How do we solve this problem? Oh, someone locked the door to his office.
No, they're in lockdown because it's a threat.
Yes, lockdown. That's what lockdown is. Someone comes by to every individual office and makes sure no one in there can poop for the next 3 days.
Ice Cube turns right back around and he just goes back and sits back in the computer chair. You're like, oh, he's going to try to, it's like a Die Hard, right? He's going to go in the vents. No, he's not. Not for this money.
Try the door, sweetie. You're going to just have to die in the car.
So he's delivering his intel report by which he scraped the metadata to give to the president, and that's when we see the military forces worldwide coordinating to strike back. And again, because this is in real time, he gives that data to the president. Then we cut over to news reports of the entire world instantly coordinating, and then they cut back to finish their sentence. Happens in a matter of seconds. And he's smack talking him. I believe he hits the button that goes, "That was easy," in the alien's face, who are not monitoring this at all. But then he goes to check back on the Tesla, and his daughter is gone. She's left. She has left the Tesla, vanished. It's all bloody. He has no idea where. And then Sandra NASA, who he met, hot girl from work, tells Ice Cube the aliens might be hunting for something, they have some kind of agenda or plan. But that would be ridiculous. Ice Cube doesn't believe it. He believes I guess they're just he thinks they're a bunch of cats that came down here or something.
Teen aliens.
And here's the crazy thing.
Doing criminal mischief.
Ice Cube is right.
Yeah.
Ice Cube is right. These are not really intelligent aliens. They've come down. They look mechanical. They don't look biological. They look like mechanical tripods. But they don't have heat rays, like Jason said. In this version,
they look like a Korean phone game. Let's be clear. Let's be really detailed in our description.
And they attack by yelling. I think they're going for a sonic weapon, but because they have to open their mouths to do it, it just looks like they look like angry cats. They're just going rah when they attack. And they don't seem to have a plan. Ice Cube realizes the aliens are going for our data centers and draining the data with their data mites. And that's because this is one of their taglines. That's because data is their food. They put that on the posters. Their other tagline, by the way, it's worse than you think.
That one's rough.
All right, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Are you using your interjection?
No, I was going to just describe the way that they show their little tanks of data draining. They're like gas tanks. He has little meters of the data in the world that are being sucked away by the data's not being corrupted or deleted. It's being drained because they eat data. So when they consume data, they can't copy it and then have the data. They have to take the data as their food. You understand? Data cannot simply be copied endlessly. If you're going to eat data off a computer, that data will be gone from the computer.
Yeah, that's what's so scary, is that our data will be gone and they will, I guess shit it out as Facebook posts? I'm not sure what data shit would be.
Okay, here's me and how generous I am. When I was watching this movie the first time, I did think that it was now an allegory. I thought, okay, they're not real aliens. This is something about losing our history or our culture or or something, right? It can't really be what's really happening. That's too fucking stupid.
Everybody's I love that everybody, when they watch this movie, is, all right, this has to be a metaphor or a setup for a twist. And then it's not. It's just not. Because their other tagline, it's worse than you think.
So we get an error message that now says military systems dash full data loss. And then we cut to a video of all of our battleships sinking.
And within seconds.
They're tipped over and sinking because their data has been deleted.
They don't have enough data to float.
They cannot float anymore.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you need a lot of data to say boat stay up. But most of the data just says boat stay up. And if you drain that, boat don't know where to go. Boat go down.
Canonically in the film, that took place over 1 minute because this took place while his daughter is trying to get the rebar out of her leg, and her in the course that it took for Mark to find her in the building where she's got the rebar stuck in her leg. All of the world's ships and aircraft carriers sank instantly because 40 seconds ago their data was deleted.
If the aliens blew a 30-foot hole in every battleship and aircraft carrier, it would still take them longer than this movie to sink.
I like that they just turn. They turn upside down because they don't know which way to go. They don't know. Data could be pointing anywhere. They don't know. It doesn't point up anymore. All right, so let's reset the interjections. Moving on to the next act.
Thank you.
Aliens are eating all of our data. World's militaries are helpless because we need data. Aliens love data. Data tastes delicious. Ice Cube is quickly scanning his feeds to see that the world's militaries are giving up. Again, it's been 1 minute. they experienced a message that said full data loss, and they were like, well, gave it our best. Give it our best, boys. Pack it up. Head home.
Granted, an M1 Abrams tank with all of its systems shut down, you could just run it into the legs of these tripods
Sure.
and run over most of them with a single tank. Just keep crashing into them. In fact, I think the guys driving those tanks, I think that would be their favorite day ever. When they just ran around just running these things over.
Like everybody of that age and younger, of our age and younger, like everybody in the world doesn't know what to do in this situation. You get a cable, you wrap it around the legs, you draw it tight. Everybody wants to be in that scene from Star Wars, from Empire. Like,
Drop 2 logs.
we know this is the one thing we know how to do.
You go to the museum and you get some old tanks before they had data. You do a Battlestar Galactica. There's nothing to it. There's a million ways to handle these aliens.
I like that one of the news reports to sell it says, our forces are basically fighting them hand to hand now. like the troops are running up and just punching that thing in the
Jackie
leg.
Chan hitting it with a ladder.
So the Amazon driver boyfriend, his name is Mark. He has made it to the daughter Faith, and she pulled the rebar out. The genius biologist has pulled the rebar out and is now bleeding to death, and is surprised by this. She's like, "Oh, it hurt so bad. I thought it would. I didn't know it was going to bleed."
To her credit, Ice Cube did say don't pull it out, and he's a fucking idiot. So you would.
So now's when Mark needs to do something to stop the bleeding, and Mark, the Amazon driver, goes distant behind the eyes before pulling out his Amazon packaging tape gun. And Ice Cube says, "No, you need something else." And Mark says, "Trust me, I'm
me.
a pro."
He's
and
delivered a
heroically
lot of
rips.
human legs. He's gonna ship that leg to Cleveland.
He's a medical taping master by virtue of his elite Amazon training. You see, and she knows this. She tells her dad, "No, you have some faith in Mark. He knows how to tape a leg."
Do the listeners understand that when we say Amazon driver, we're not doing that thing where the movie used a fake brand and then we're just calling them Amazon because that's clearly what it's supposed to be. No, Amazon branding is all over all of this.
Yeah, he's an actual Amazon driver, and they're portraying him as like, that's the thing. That's his set of skills that's going to get him through the apocalypse, is how good Amazon trained him. Because you know they're training, like there's Amazon boot camps, Amazon college you got to go through to get there. They don't just take anybody.
They said the only guy who can get in there is someone who can hold their pee for 4 hours because they'll get fired if they leave for a bathroom break. And he'll say, I can do this.
And it's certainly not a situation where sometimes a person will just show up to your house in like a Chrysler Sebring with your package in their back seat and put it on your porch. And you're like, was that Amazon or was that just a person who stole a package from another house?
Yeah, is that Amazon or is that another bomb? Because I get a lot of bombs. Sandra NASA has captured some of the data mites, which confirms Ice Cube's theory. They eat data and they're hungry.
And they're also tiny little helpless bugs. It turned out that the tripods were just a distraction, so these sad, hungry little bugs could munch on some data, which we would happily give them if we have tons of it.
Yeah.
If they just asked.
And they don't have it. This is not any intelligence. Like, they're just going for their food source. They just happen. We don't know what alien race gave them those tanks. They thought it was funny. They were like, let's give the bugs tanks and just see what happens.
I would love it if like they realized they eat the data and they like decided to like create some. They like went to fan fiction forums or whatever. And they're like, all right, we need you to write young adult fan fiction faster than
Just
you've ever written
typing as
before.
it disappears behind you.
We need you to make pornography. Any kind of pornography. Just to
That's
high
when the
resolution.
furries come to
Amateur
save the day. It's like the Super Mario level, just the scrolling disappearing right behind them as they write
all
their
of the
pornography.
internet slop coming together to save the world.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
But what matters is, after all of our criticisms, and I feel like we've been very harsh on this film up to this point, they do something really cool here, because the entire framework of the film is that Ice Cube can only interact through the internet and through all of these platforms. But they show it's not just the military's data that got deleted. Everything's gotten deleted. They literally have headline, the Earth's population is totally bankrupt. All banking records are gone. All credit card data, all loans, all everything. Then his Facebook data gets deleted, because remember the plot point from earlier where his sad dead wife's ghost lives on only in her Facebook profile? He
I
watches
burned an interjection on that.
as all of their photos and videos get deleted. So this is important. All of the data is gone. So
I
that
loved that
means
him watching like the
nothing-
pictures vanish one by one. It's like,
I loved when he played the audio message she left him, and it started going like low batteries. It was like, "Oh, I love you, be nice to the." That's what happens when data dies.
That means all of the servers are wiped. Because again, Amazon, I don't know if people realize this, everything runs off of Amazon servers, the AWS system. So all of that is wiped. So nothing works. All of that Microsoft Teams, all of that stuff uses data to function. And certainly
all
like
gone.
his daughter's boyfriend, who's the Amazon driver, like obviously Amazon at this point doesn't exist. All of their databases of products, all of their databases of addresses, all of the data they use like Amazon is just a bunch of warehouses full of crap right now. Everything is gone. So now it's like, okay, we've established that everything we're doing is done through these online platforms. So now what do we do when we're basically back to 1825? Like, we're communicating verbally. There's not even any cell phones. The cell phones run off of data. All of that data is gone. So it's like, okay, what does this story look like when all of the tech that they are relying on is gone? Like, they showed it being deleted.
So I'm so glad Jason burned his interjection to like really hammer home that point. The next scene, we're watching the live stream of Disruptor, the hacker. Ice Cube is watching Disruptor talk about the aliens. He says if the aliens eat the secret information in the government's Goliath program, it'll be the end of humanity. And Ice Cube on his computer completely changes the pitch and frequency of Disruptor's voice modulator until it sounds like his son. And
Well,
then
now,
he's
hold
like,
on.
"Oh my God, that was
I think
my son."
some of the listeners are confused. So when we say that the Disruptor's live stream, did he set up like an antenna to broadcast like an old fashioned, like did he have his own power source to just broadcast a signal that people could pick up on their radios? Like,
I'm glad you asked. No,
nope. Use the internet that everyone's
Yeah.
still connected to.
yeah, and
He's
just
on
like Ice
YouTube.
Cube is using his computer to change the tone and frequency of his son's voice.
He's on YouTube. So if his wife had put her stuff on YouTube, they would have been fine, because YouTube is totally unaffected.
But Facebook can get fucked. They ate Facebook first because it was. I guess it tastes like ranch. I'm assuming it would taste like ranch.
I don't think counts as interjection. I think I just want to help make the point that when he changes the modulation for his son's voice, the movie really lets the viewer figure that out on their own. It takes maybe 50 tries. Like, they just keep playing it as if they're like, "Hey, viewer, you recognize that voice? It's one of the other three characters in the movie." And they really let you get it. And then finally, once you're sure, I think I've heard that voice before. I think it's his son.
I would like for him to change that voice to, because if you're in there just fucking with every level of a voice recording, you can make it sound like anything. I would love it if it just sounded like Shaq or something at the end. He's just like, "Oh my
Hi.
God, it was Shaq."
I'm Disruptor. I'm here to tell you about the data.
Little Dennis Miller. Oh my God, it's Dennis Miller. It's strangely enough, it's only impressions Sean Baby can do.
If you take the data and you put the data
So he finds out the hacker is his son, of course. And he has that information the government wanted all this time. The aliens were hungry for it. And what's worse, his boss, he finds out his boss, Director Briggs, is behind the whole thing, because Goliath, as the the software that gathers so much data it can predict our thoughts.
Okay, interjection. So
Is
they
that
tell
your
this dude.
one interjection?
I'm still using my interjection. Don't ape me. They tell this guy, they're like, hey, buddy, if you turn on this fucking surveillance system, aliens will come to Earth and eat the data. And he doesn't say...
Interjection.
They
Interjection.
God, you can't interject an interjection.
Yes, I can. We find that out by a tweet from Senator Chuck Schumer. Continue.
Okay, thank you. No, good interjection. So they tell him this, and he does not say, "Ha aliens, that's crazy." He's like, "Yeah, I know, but like we'd be able to predict thoughts. Like how fucking rad. Like yes, it will end all human life." He believes the alien thing. That's what I want to make clear. Is he knows this will happen. He does it anyway as an act of stupid evil, not like hubris.
This is not an interjection. I'm proceeding to the next part of the film because I struggle to, even somebody who doesn't understand how computers work, I'm trying to get a sense of how they thought computers worked. Because the threat now is that Goliath was a data gathering program, but not the one we were watching Ice Cube use earlier that let him literally spy on his daughter's refrigerator.
And that one was fine. The movie thinks the movie's thesis has no problems with that.
Goliath is something much worse. And they say if the aliens locate Goliath and consume its data, the world will return to the Stone Age. So what does the writer, the guy who wrote that line, how does he think? I'm not comparing this to reality. I'm saying, what is his mental picture of how data works?
Oh, I can answer that. He thinks all of the data will now be in one place, and that means when the aliens eat it, all of the data will be gone. Like
That's absolutely it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks that like if you eat a fact from the computer, that fact ceases to exist in reality. Like if in the computer they were like basic physics, and then they ate the physics, humans would no longer understand basic physics.
Right.
So
their copy of Red Sonja, the one that Goliath just ate, if they eat that, all Red Sonja dies across all devices.
And our memories. More tragically,
Yes.
our memories of it. We'll have no idea what Ice Cube is reacting to. We won't even know.
That's what I think his understanding is. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is.
So when Ice Cube was on the set of this film, when I say on the set of this film, I mean in his home.
In his breakfast nook.
In his kitchen. When he read the line, "When you turned on Goliath, it rang a dinner bell that traveled through the whole galaxy." What do you think he thought this movie was about? When you turned on Goliath, it rang a dinner bell that traveled throughout the whole galaxy.
Aliens are hungry for giant cock? He thought it was some kind of pornography, but like one of these ones the kids are into, where it's all like weird CG and stuff.
I just feel like knowing that turning this on will summon aliens, and your reaction is like, yeah, but we'll get to know what they're thinking before they think it. It's such a cartoonish and pointless thing that very much does not solve the problem of aliens. It's like if someone said, hey, don't eat that ice cream, you'll die. And you said, you fool, this ice cream will be worth $14 million in my tummy. It's like, no. What you did is ignore the thing I said and then said something unrelated and insane. And that's now the plot of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't think I explained that well, but neither did the film.
So he's been warned. The director Briggs has been warned that turning on Goliath will draw the aliens, and this is all just to, as Ice Cube says, spy on people's Amazon carts. Now, this is the third time he's said spying on people's Amazon carts in the movie. I'm worried the movie thinks that's the movie's theme. That the movie's theme is don't spy on people's Amazon carts. That surely can't be right.
What is the screenwriter buying that this is such a recurring theme? What is he so guilty about
but we'll
putting in his cart?
We'll check back in on that later. I'm sure that one's not going to stick. So Ice Cube confronts director Briggs. He gets fired and his access is revoked to all of his master spy programs. So he joins his son's hacker group. And their plan is to poison the aliens' food source with bad data. That's maybe one of the dumbest things I've ever said out loud.
I feel like you put that on the whiteboard in the writers' meeting and say, like, okay, how do we take this idea and turn it into something we can put in the movie?
Wait, you know what? It was actually that thing we said about furry porn. That's actually what happened in the movie. That's what
really?
they're doing. They're doing our plan. We thought we were making a joke. We just forgot about the movie we watched, because that's their plan, is to create bad data that makes the aliens sick. It's going to make the aliens have diarrhea, and that's really the plot of this movie.
Also, the hackers say they will only help him write the virus that will save the world if they get total immunity, because they're upset that like a Fed has been brought into their group. So to get them total immunity, he searches in a little search box for their records and deletes them.
Okay, that's your interjection.
Which happened in Act 1, if I'm remembering this movie correctly.
I believe, I don't have this in my notes, but I believe it's not delete. I believe there's a sub menu. He hits file and it says like give immunity.
Okay.
He has a give immunity button, and then it deletes them. It says something very similar to that. It does not say delete. It's like render immune or something. And that's what keeps happening in the movies. He'll just go up to a drop-down file, and then it'll be like commandeer drone. You're like, huh. God, it's funny that I needed that. Take over Tesla. All right, the hit that was easy button. Sure thing.
Hold A to defeat aliens.
So Ice Cube gets his son's hacker's YouTube account login, and he posts a video breaking open the whole Goliath conspiracy, showing the world how Briggs is behind it, and they can all watch it on their computers and internet, which are totally fine. That's the plot. That's the plot, is that the whole world now knows. They're all watching YouTube just fine after all the data was eaten. He even photoshops himself into the Disruptor avatar just to make absolutely sure they arrest him after this.
Now, this only would have taken a few minutes, but I think he did not have time for this. And this pointless endeavor was not useful.
News stories, like headlines, are popping up about it instantly before the video is done playing, because he has like another tab open, he has little alerts. And as he's watching the video play, the alert of like New York Times has already written a story about this. So like either maybe they're all using AI too. It's crazy what this movie thinks time is. I think that's the weirdest thing about this movie, is how it thinks time must flow.
It's so uniquely wrong about every single thing. About problems it creates, it fucks up.
But the nature of time is crazy. Like,
I agree.
Man, you know how minutes go, right? Like, you guys know that they go one after the other, and they don't all happen at the same time.
Like curing a ripped off leg with packing tape. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe you don't have like a medical degree. That's fine.
But you don't know how minutes work.
Yeah,
like,
you still pass through the day like the rest of us, right? Like,
it's fucking crazy. All right, so they launch this Disruptor group launches the virus, and it literally makes all of the aliens sick, which they show by the aliens like opening their mouths, which are their weapons, and just going like bog, bog, like they've all got food poisoning, and they're all falling over and just barfing up bad data.
This would have been a great time to like do a joke, to have them like they're singing like "We Built This City" by Starship or whatever, like a really bad song. They're like, we sickened the aliens with our terrible thing. I don't know. It's a bad example, but like, you get it.
Yeah, that would have ruled.
If this was an airplane style comedy, like, it'd be some.
Which is one of the many ways to save this movie that this movie did not take.
You just hear the voice of the Rizzler over and over again.
Yes.
Just the Costco guys, that Skibbity Toilet song just echoing.
And I'm surprised it didn't. This was clearly made by boomers who have no idea how the world works or technology works. It really that should be the joke, is like, you fucking kids. But it's not. None of it's a joke. They're very serious about all of this, including the part where all of the aliens start barfing up bad data. You're like, yeah, that's really cool. No, it's not cool. I know it's a riff on the War of the Worlds. We gave them a virus thing. We gave them a computer virus. But
that's sort of famously been done. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, in one of the most successful films of all time.
Right.
It's one of the biggest blockbusters from 30 years ago.
Virtuosity?
Yes, that's the one.
exactly what we're talking about.
So now the aliens fight back by eating the hacker's data and finding out where the Goliath really is. They go kill all the disruptor group of hackers, including, apparently, Ice Cube's son, by blowing up his house. Only not really. And I'm giving you... It seems like I'm jumping ahead and not allowing you to process that loss. I'm about in sync with the movie. So the movie's like, oh my god, he's dead. Wait. No, he's not. No, he's not, you guys. He was in a different room the whole time using a green screen.
I can't remember which reaction they chose for this, but I think it was the one where he kind of pops up out of his chair and his chair sort of falls over. He's, oh, damn, my son got, oh, come on.
Okay, I do have to confess something here because the most viral clips from this film, it's Ice Cube reacting in a very mild way to, an entire city being destroyed or whatever. It's like, huh? I will confess, if you had went and found me on 9/11, 2001, sitting in front of my old PC watching 9/11 happen, my reaction really was like, ooh, that's, huh. I wasn't like running around screaming. I was just like, oh, geez, that's... But the way it played out, because the news hit that a plane had hit the World Trade Center, and instantly they thought it was like... People didn't know it was a 747 or whatever. They thought it was like a private jet or something. Because people thought it was an accident. That this, oh my gosh, a pilot has passed out behind the wheel and crashed into the tower. And the video was just of smoke coming out. The elderly man who worked in the office with me came in to work. And of course, he did not, had no idea what was going on. There were no smartphones back then. He didn't use the internet or anything and hadn't happened to him watching news. So he walks in the door and I said, a plane hit the World Trade Center. He looks at me and says, was it bin Laden? Immediately somehow knew, almost like he knew in advance everything.
Did you take that guy down?
It would be a long time before, and at the time I didn't know what that name was. I didn't know who he was talking about. I didn't know what that.
No, it's not your friend. What are you talking about?
Like weeks later, it's like we think Osama bin Laden has taken responsibility. It's like, wait a second, did George know the details of this attack upon walking in the door of the office and having his young employee say, "That plane ran into the World Trade Center"? It's almost like, oh, it was today then.
That guy was a fucking spook. That guy was there monitoring your office. There was somebody in your office he suspected.
It wouldn't occur to me until months later what a crazy reaction that was. And he just instantly like, oh, they've done it already. What of the Pentagon? Like, nobody said anything about what are you talking about?
Anyway, that was the last we saw of George. He was gone after that.
I can't believe we burned our interjections on 9/11.
Yeah, okay.
This will all be cut. We have to keep the podcast to an hour.
That's very important.
The sponsors demand it.
Yeah, if this is going to see any success covering this timely material, it'll have to be under an hour. Surely we'll manage that feat. So Ice Cube got his son's hacker account. He posted that video. They launched the virus. It made all the aliens sick. And his son's alive. Everything's come up Ice Cube so far. And then Sandra NASA calls, and she calls to show him the data mites. And Ice Cube gets his son and daughter on the line. And remember, his daughter is a genius biologist who just so happens to have written the right, as they say, biological cannibal code they need.
Okay, now hold on. I haven't used an interjection for a while, so I want to use one now.
We all used it for 9/11.
Sarah NASA says she.
Oh, damn it. What has 9/11 cost us?
The exact line she says is she's examined one of the mites under a microscope and says, they're a hybrid organism, biological and cyber.
It's
awesome.
Such a shame you had to use your
biological
for
part that they can hack. They're like, since it's biological, that means we can go into the blood and type commands in the blood. Which again, it feels like so specifically wrong.
You've both used your interjections on this. You've both burned them, and I want you to know it was for nothing.
It looks like plastic, metal, and silicon.
Right, like everything you'd expect to see on a microchip. But look here.
Oh, damn.
Why is it blood inside of a computer
They're a
chip?
hybrid organism, biological and cyber. I mean, look, there's even DNA.
DNA. Oh my God.
Life and computers becoming
DNA.
one.
Hold tight,
Oh my
hold
God.
tight.
Oh my God.
Faye, do you have access to your cannibal code?
You know about that?
These things are alive. That means we can kill them.
It's never been tested.
They're a hybrid organism, biological and cyber.
Biological and cyber again.
So
I
funny.
haven't used an interjection for a while, so I want to use one here. If you are any aspiring storytellers, novelists, or screenwriters out there, I want you to watch this movie and take note that he has a son who's a hacker and a daughter who's a biologist. So because of that, they decide that the aliens need to be biological and cyber so that the daughter can hack their DNA and the son can hack their software. So the two of them can work together. But for that to happen, they had to make it so the aliens were cyborgs, and each part of them had to separately be hacked in two different ways. In the storytelling world, we call that a hat on a hat. It's where you didn't need to repeat those. You could have just had one child that just does one type of hacking.
I think they call it a biological and cyber.
Yes. This could, in a good screenplay, the family would be estranged, and like this would be how the family came together, was to combine their skills to defeat this very unique situation. But yeah, that's not what happened here. I think what happened here is they're like, okay, Ice Cube, pages are coming in. What we need is just like 30 different reactions to many different possibilities. Throw a chair over, drop your coffee, just do whatever you got to do. Just give us some options.
I'm going to burn an interjection here, and I'm not going to ape myself for it. Something we haven't mentioned is how many lines or very close to lines from other better movies this movie keeps dropping. Like they drop a little bit of War Games earlier. Like it's on top of all of the other sins that this movie has, it's also kind of Ready Player
Yeah,
One.
it's a Ready Player One.
Cause you heard a little Predator there at the end. If it's got blood, we can kill it.
Yep. They do the titular line in this movie. They say, "We got a real war of the worlds on our hands," and Ice Cube does the Brendan Fraser clap to it. That really happened.
Shit. Oh, there's too much. Okay. So they're going to modify the daughter's cannibal code to attack DNA. Ice Cube, his job is to get it into Goliath, which we learn has been downstairs from him the whole time.
Yeah, it's in his basement.
It's in the basement of the building he is standing in right now. So all he has to do is go downstairs.
Didn't his son know this too? Didn't his son? He's like, "Hey, yeah, I hacked your thing. It's where you work, Dad."
Still, at an hour and 12 minutes into this film, Ice Cube leaves that room, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
I did not think that was going to happen.
Like, it's probably just his house that he's going downstairs in.
To give him the body of a horse was a pretty big surprise too. So, holy shit, Centaur the whole time.
From the waist down, you never see him. He just gets up, no pants. That's my easy joke. But Director Briggs is going to blow up the DHS headquarters to bury it in rubble so the aliens can't get it. And they tell us the blast radius will be 5 miles. To collapse a building, they just want to collapse the rubble. They don't think this is going to destroy Goliath down there. They're like, we just have to collapse the building on top of it. Time to drop a nuclear bomb and destroy 5 miles of territory. Ice Cube, so he wants to just jog downstairs with the code. But Sandra NASA points out, that's data. They'll eat you. So if you have data on you, they'll eat you. They don't just eat data. They can't eat you. And that's if you have like a Game Boy on you.
Right. Again, like what a different movie this could have been if it was a Predator situation and they're like, people are throwing away their phones so the aliens can't see them. Like,
it's a comment. It's a bad comment, but it's a comment.
Yeah. But
just live life in the moment. Okay, so it's time now for the big final sacrifice, the big finale. Ice Cube has to run downstairs with the data to poison Goliath so that the aliens will all get sick. Again, it's so stupid. I'm sorry I have to say these words. Here's something even stupider. Ice Cube doesn't have a thumb drive to get the data downstairs. And they all pause and make fun of him for that for a little bit. But Mark, the Amazon driver boyfriend, does have a thumb drive. It's a very stupid problem. You know what they say? Stupid problems require stupid solutions.
All right, the code is ready. Sending it to you now. Put it on a thumb drive.
I don't have a thumb drive.
What do you mean you don't have a thumb drive?
Whoa.
Thumb drive.
Boy, this is a top secret military installation. They don't let thumb drives in the building.
Faith can load it here and I can get it to you.
How?
Prime Air.
Prime Air available now.
Oh, it's the feature of delivery. They've been training us for months. I need you to place an official order on Amazon to activate the drone.
Nuts.
A couple of notes there. He says Prime Air, and then you heard the sound of a zipper. That was not him unzipping his pants to whip out his dong. Yeah, I got it right here.
Get it right here. Whoever
Got it
wrote
right
this
here,
can
Dad.
suck this.
I got your Prime Air right here.
But also, he makes him go to Amazon's website and order a thumb drive because that's the only way that Amazon will unlock the drone so he can fly it manually into the building, because he's going to try to fly this drone not to the building, but through the door somehow, downstairs, through all of the doors directly to him in the basement. But to make that happen, Ice Cube has to place an order on Amazon and use Prime Air as his delivery method. So Amazon up and running, credit cards up and running, payment records up and running. So all of those people who were bankrupt earlier, it's not clear to me.
Yeah, how are you buying it?
They can just use their credit cards, I guess, until they get it all lined out.
Here's the thing I think might be more troubling to worry about. It's like during a part of the process of producing this movie, someone at Amazon said, "Hey, in the final act, can we have them solve the problem by ordering a thumb drive from Amazon?" And instead of saying, "No, fuck you, the script is done," the screenwriter said, "Absolutely, sir. I'll have that on your desk by the end of the day."
And that's, it's not ironic. It's not subverted in some way. It's not like wink, wink product placement. The only thing that can save the day is ordering a product on Amazon.com. So the bombers are on the way. The aliens are advancing on the DHS. Ice Cube is running down the stairs to the server room, and Mark says, "Your package is on the way."
Classic catchphrase of Amazon.
This is by far the highest budget scene in the movie. It's not high budget, but it's the highest budget scene in the movie. It's a real CGI heavy POV shot of an Amazon drone making a priority delivery as aliens try to shoot it down. Like, that's the finale of the movie.
What if this was like an internal, like, team building Amazon project that just accidentally got leaked?
This is very much like, they used to make commercials like this, especially in like 80s and 90s, where it would be very like, we've recut footage from the movie and made it look like our product had something like, Duracell batteries or what made that lightsaber turn back on. Like, and it was a little hokey, it was a little cheesy. We didn't put it in the movie because that was fucking stupid. But here I can't believe they put it in the movie. This is the finale of the movie, is product placement. And it's not over. The drone takes a hit and lands upside down, and they think, well, that was it. That's the end of the world. Except they see a homeless man taking cover in the background, and through their Department of Homeland Security software, they click on him, and they show his phone number, because they all know, of course, he not only has a phone, we can see his name, we can scan his face, get his phone number, and then we can interject and start sending him messages. And so they do that. That's the grounding you'll need for this next clip.
Flip it over. Flip it over.
It won't turn over. Damn turtle on its back here.
Okay, I got an idea.
Come on, guys, we're running out of time.
Faith, get his number.
I don't think this guy has a phone.
I mean, he must have a phone. Everyone has a phone.
Oh my god.
Fucking
Come on.
Tell him to flip the drone.
Come on.
What's he doing? Come on.
So she's texting to him, telling him to flip the drone.
Flip it over. Just
Wait, hold on. I got a better idea.
Why is he waiting? What's going on?
She offers him free internet.
Wait, give him an Amazon gift card for $1,000. Hurry! Come on. Yes! Oh my God!
Come on! All right, no, move!
Amazing.
Move.
That he has the power to give anyone $1,000 gift card is pretty stunning.
An Amazon driver, yes.
But also, like, I feel like this would be like a bomb going off for like a mentally ill homeless person to receive a text from the government telling them to run across the street during a meteor shower. Like, I feel like they would know that's a trap.
Now,
everything has been confirmed true.
This scene by itself, if this was the only scene I had seen from this film, I would think that's actually pretty good in terms of like because the idea that if you have the context, strip away everything else you know about the movie. These guys got to fly a drone from A to B to get a thumb drive to somebody. Like, in a normal movie, that could be a decent plot point. Like, not if the guy has godlike powers, but it's just like a hacker, and then they've got to like get a thumb drive across town, and then it gets slapped out of the air, and it's on its back, and then you're helpless because drones, once they are turned over, I have one, they can't do anything. The idea of having to like call a nearby homeless man and bribe him to come flip it over, that's very funny. Like, that's legitimately, sure. I would have that scene in one of my, as like, because you've got all of this tech and it's useless to you. So you've got to go to this guy like, I will give you $1,000 to just go flip that drone over. That would be something in a Zzone novel. I would absolutely be proud of writing that scene. It's just that if it's not occurred to the listeners at this point, the only way Ice Cube is able to save the world is because he has godlike surveillance powers. Do you understand? This is not him learning that he was wrong to spy on everyone. His ability to spy on everybody, including a local homeless man with no criminal record, he's not under surveillance, he can just instantly get into his phone, find out who he is, send him money, probably take money from him if you wanted. That ability, that's the only thing that saves the world. If the world had slightly better privacy and data security, we would be doomed.
Or if we didn't have the just flawless delivery of Amazon.com, the world would be doomed. Because Amazon has saved the world. Let me check, like, how many times has Ice Cube saved the world here? He's working on one. Same for all the other characters. They're working on one. They're going to get a maximum of one. Amazon just saved the world twice in this finale. Amazon is the main character of this movie. And my favorite character, the one with the most personality, easily, is Amazon.com.
I just bought a pen from them.
All right, so they get the drone to Ice Cube, and he just runs down to the basement and meets him down there. It's all in the same location. He's been there the whole time. It's fucking crazy that they made that decision that like, oh no, now Ice Cube, he's got to go downstairs. You're like, all right, doesn't seem like a lot to ask.
I am shocked that they did not reveal that it was in a cabinet in the room with him.
It was just under his desk. Yeah. Goliath is the guy that works behind me. It's just his workstation.
Oh damn! Oh my god!
So his son. He gets down to the server room, and his son Dave the hacker tells him, Dad, the USB input, it's right on the server face. Isn't Ice Cube supposed to be one of the best hackers in the world? You gotta tell him what a USB port is?
What are these rectangles, son?
It's not going in. You gotta flip it, Dad. It's still not going in.
It says Skibbity Rizzler. What does that mean, kid?
So he plugs in the USB as the alien data tentacles grab him, and I was kind of excited when the alien data tentacles started grabbing Ice Cube. I was like, oh yeah, here we go. It's the
final.
Yeah, it's Evil Dead. It's the Evil Dead tree scene.
This is what they learned when we fed them our data. This is what they learned.
We taught them. You're right. We learned it from watching you. That would be such a great moment of hubris if like we had opened on Ice Cube writing tentacle porn and being like, Yeah, I post this anonymously. They're never going to know it's me. And then at the end, they download and eat that data and know what to do with him. Perfect movie. Again, we can make that happen with the performance footage we are given from Ice Cube here. Please get to work on that, listeners at home. It works. His plan works. He plugs the USB drive in. All the aliens get super sick from eating data, poisonous data, and they start barfing up data again and start dying. And this, the stupidest thing I've ever said for the third time this podcast. We cut to real sentimental music as his kids read like an email he never had the courage to send them. And it's like, oh no, oh, R.I.P. Ice Cube. He died how he lived, getting penetrated in every orifice.
There are multiple ticking clocks here because it's not just the aliens trying to violate him with their tentacles. Remember, they've ordered this nuclear strike on the Capitol. So the countdown to the nuclear bomb's landing is there's 3 seconds left, and Ice Cube inserts the USB drive, and they say, abort, abort. So why did the bomber pilots... What told them that, what were they able to observe from wherever they were flying that, oh, he has uploaded a cannibal virus?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You see what I'm saying? Like it seemed like it was kind of too late for them to turn back at that point. I kind of thought the point was going to be he uploaded the virus, but he got blown up anyway because, well, yeah, they've already launched.
I would love it if they're like, the airspace isn't clear. What is this? And then they cut to $1,000 worth of vodka just being delivered with drones, like to that homeless guy.
I think the movie should have just hard cut out when those tentacles grabbed him and started dragging him away. Maybe if you want to be like Soprano style, cut to black and then have the sound of like some khakis ripping and like just tasteful. End it right there, and that way we get to.
No, like we need there's something. Ice Cube would have to say something.
You're right.
To sort of put a button on the scene.
But then it ends on the theme of like, you see, he's been violating our privacy all this time. Now his privacy has been violated, and it all comes full circle.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon.com. A special rest in peace, Amazon.com. And then we play some sentimental music.
Ranch Doritos.
No, Ice Cube is not dead. It's all a fake out. It's another pointless fake out. I think every single member of his family gets a pointless fake out death in this movie. It's like the one emotional move they know how to do.
Except for the wife. The wife is dead.
She is dead. That's true. She doesn't get to come back through. They shit out the data and his wife's in there. Oh my God,
can you imagine?
We ate all of the data. Only now she can only say skibbity rizzle. Because she's built with shit data. So Ice Cube, it's the aftermath. It's now, I don't know, months later. Ice Cube accepts a call from a government official it's the guy that's been on the golf course the whole time. He wants Ice Cube to develop a new, gentler program to spy on the American public. One that he says, one that spies on them, but doesn't violate their privacy.
Is that word for word what he says? That's.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man.
One that spies on them but doesn't violate the privacy.
A new security protocol that doesn't invade people's privacy.
Yep.
Yeah, so the theme of the movie is, I guess that surveilling people is bad, but like that's the lie we tell ourselves, where in fact it's actually the most important thing to the world and to outer space.
I actually have the theme of the movie right here.
Oh, thank you.
I just got off with the president. He wants you to pioneer a new data collecting protocol that doesn't invade people's personal privacy.
Sorry, sir, but not for me.
I beg your pardon?
There's more important things to do than to worry about what's in people's Amazon carts.
Yeah, that was the theme. That's the movie thought that was its theme. It opened by saying that. That's one of the first lines they said. They repeated it several times throughout, and he gets the final line that there are more important things to do than worry about what's in people's Amazon carts. That's what we've learned today, everybody.
Yeah. A beautiful motif and theme and character arc for Amazon. It's really...
Oh, you know what? I got one more interjection. Hold on. Don't ape me. I'm the only one with that power right now. I'm not going to ape myself. There's a point where Ice Cube gets grabbed by like an enemy data tentacle, like a non-sexy one. And he says, "Move, bitch, get out the way." And like a reference to his famous song. Only, hold on. Hold on. That's not his song. That's a Ludacris song. That means this was probably written for Ludacris originally.
No.
It's the only thing that makes sense. They were too lazy to change the line, and Ice Cube didn't give a shit. He obviously doesn't give a shit, because that means Ludacris will turn down a role that Ice Cube will accept. That's the bombshell.
I think the big thing from my point of view is when readers in 1898 were reading the original H.G. Wells novel and saw the line, "Move, bitch, get out the way," I think at the time, I can see why they were blown away by this. The same as, the walking tripod machines would have seemed like magical technology at the time. And all of the references to, Amazon and USB drives. At the time, that probably did sound like wizardry. But I think now, 120 years later, I think it's time to throw the story in the trash. I think so much of that, the cracks in his writing style, I think this adaptation just reveals it. I mean, they eat data. Like, it just, again, they didn't have computers back then. I get it being impressed by that kind of writing, but
God, can you imagine how powerful it would be, though, opening the page and seeing data is their food, and you'd be like, fuck, nobody's ever said that before. I don't even know what that means. That's incredible.
Part cyber? Wow.
Biological and cyber? That's a line so good it's worth saying twice.
I gotta go feed those hogs now. I'm
going to be thinking about this the whole time during hog feeding time. Wish somebody would give me my $1,000 gift card to flip those hogs. They don't give me shit.
That's a lot of money back now.
I haven't. I think it just, I've been trying to think about the "Move, bitch, get out the way." I think the writer thought that was an Ice Cube song.
And either way, he did not give enough of a shit to correct it.
Ice Cube probably would have given the note. My song was "Fuck the Police." And maybe earlier in the movie, we could name my butthole "The Police." And then, hear me out.
Sound of khakis ripping. All right, that's it. That's all we're allowed to talk about in this movie, according to the terms we had to negotiate. Meet us in the bonus episode for just kind of a free-for-all and the shit we didn't get to talk about. Or, here's my alternate proposal. Don't.
Einstein, 100, Frankfurt. Einstein, 100, Frankfurt. Unser Podcast genau. Und mit maximalen Schau. Dogg Frankfurt Podcast. Korrekt. Ja. Der Kraft ist nicht ohne. Schick die in die Hundesau. 4 eine Stunde.